just a quick round of intros. I know you've all done this before, but my name is Jing. I'm on the brand side for Star Wars on Hasbro.
And I'm Chris. I'm on design.
Cool. All right. So I'm sure you guys have all seen Ahsoka. You guys all know we have a Ghost HasLab. Seen it 3 times. And as well, we also have an August live stream next week that we'd love for you guys to join us. So there's a lot of exciting things going on in the community. So without further ado, I know you have lots of questions. So I'm just going to dive right in. James, why don't you kick us off? Jedi News.
Brilliant. Thank you both very much for taking the time to do this. We really, really appreciate it. Huge congrats on the Ghost doing so well. As with all these projects, I'm fairly convinced, I hope you are, that it is going to meet all the tiers and reach all the goals. So that's fantastic. With that, there seems to be a little bit of discrepancy between some of the figures that we're seeing, especially in some of the Far East markets. And I wondered if you could just explain that once and for all, because some people are saying, well, if you add the two together, we've already passed 17,000 and they aren't big, it's so, yeah, I wondered if you could just explain that to us.
Yeah, I think it's funny, if we had that many backers, we would be celebrating for sure with all of you, I'm sure. So there are a few instances where we have to add in some market numbers manually, since Pulse is not in that market. So we do have to sporadically add in those numbers when there's enough to report. We don't wait till the end of the campaign. So I think that was a question. So it's not something that we wait till the end and then we compile. I think some fans have actually noticed some jumps, and that's us manually adding those numbers when they come in. So it's something we just, when we get it, we put it in, and we're all striving for that same goal. We're all striving to unlock all those tiers. And so we definitely appreciate any international support from those markets as well as, of course, any European markets that is part of the Pulse market, all of that. So we're all together in this. So we're excited. Hopefully we unlock all of those tiers.
Brilliant. Thank you.
All right. Figuring. Oh, he's not here. Sorry. Paul, Minton Box.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you for this meeting. I have a question about the Ghost, and my first one is, can you explain the main difference between the paints from the San Diego Comic-Con and the last update you did?
Yeah, so the difference is there. It's more in the model, in the ideal. Well, primarily the walls in the cockpit are updated from the model that we showed at San Diego, and the two bigger bulkhead like doorway walls on either side of the crew quarters. Those now have the taller doorways in them, so you can really see that. But those are the changes we made to the model when it came back from San Diego. The model shop team got on that, updated the model with the most recent versions of the walls, and got those in there and updated the paint on those. Everything else is on the ship is what you saw at San Diego.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. John, SWTVC.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great, thanks for doing this today. Just can you guys please clarify the exclusivity of the figures included in the HasLab? There's some conflicting reports and impressions. We just want to make sure folks know clearly what they're going to miss out on if they do the unthinkable and don't get the Ghost. Is it these specific season 3 and 4 outfits in general? Is it just some accessories, the head sculpts, or just the cards? Can you talk about that a little bit, please?
Yeah, so the mural card backs is definitely something that we've mentioned as part of this HasLab campaign, and we love that mural artwork, as James is repping right now in his background. So that kind of spans both classic and now new entertainment, as we saw in the Ahsoka live action series show. So that's definitely exclusive as we announced for it. And then obviously those characters are, like you've mentioned, there's season 3, season 4, those end of season Rebels appearance. And some of those are obvious with Kanan and his alt face and everything like that. Those come from that season. So those are what is exclusive specifically to that. And that's what we, are hoping to unlock. Chris, anything to add?
Yeah, it's those figures and those outfits. That's exclusive. The card backs are also exclusive. So yeah, it's that combo. And I know fans were confused on whether the figures could come out later with different card backs. No, those versions of those figures are exclusive to the HasLab.
Okay, thank you for confirming.
Yeah.
So their only way to get their season 4 appearance. All right,
And we have
cool.
we have Volker here now, so we can
Yes,
have,
Volker. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? No. If someone can ping him just to let him know that we can't hear him and he can't hear us, that'd be great. Okay, we can certainly go back around to him later. Jedi News, James.
Brilliant. So you've explained that Chopper is slightly undersized to be able to fit into the Phantom 2. Does that, including Chopper with the Ghost, does that prohibit you from revisiting the character again on a vintage collection card back with the mural in the future?
it doesn't preclude that. In fact, today we are pipelining and revealing with you guys that if we get to 17,000 backers and get Zeb unlocked, so we've got obviously Kanan at 14 and then Zeb at 17. If we get to Zeb, outside of the HasLab as a separate offering, we're going to do Chopper and Sabine on matching mural card backs to go with those to complete that full set. So those would we didn't want to firewall them or lock them behind even higher level stretch tiers or anything that might get more and more tight and aggressive on asking people to get to. We wanted to make them available so everybody could complete that collection. That's what we're going to do if we get to Zeb. So there'll be a separate item available outside of the HasLab, but yeah, we want to do those and address those.
Fantastic.
So,
will that be another That's awesome. Will it be another HasLab, or will that just be an offering?
No, it'll just be a regular Pulse offering, Hasbro Pulse offering. Yeah. So, yeah, and more details on those and images and stuff to follow at a later time as we get closer to that. But yeah, but pipelining that's our intent is to do that. So
yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, obviously, we definitely want to unlock Zeb.
Yeah, we gotta get to the 17,000 first. I mean, fingers crossed we're gonna get there. But
yeah, with the support of the fan base. But we know how important it is for the crew, for the rest of the crew, as the fan community has pointed out to us. So once we get to Zeb, then there's 2 obvious missing characters that we'd love to then talk about as a separate offering.
And would that be a proper size Chopper? Sorry, just to.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, yeah. That Chopper would be TVC scale Chopper. It's just the one to make him work and fit on the Phantom 2 in the HasLab and look right. We had to shrink him down, and it wouldn't have been right, in our opinion, to do him as a full figure small. So that's why we made the head just snap in there and just be dressing really for the shuttle. So it had the full complete look, but didn't do a disservice to the character himself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Mint and Box, Paul.
Yes, you answer my question. Have you considered a solutions to assemble the entire Ghost crew if we don't stretch the goal? I hope we can stretch the goal, but it was my question. Have you already think to make available the figure for the Baker with another solutions or something like that?
Yeah, I mean those figures available after we get to 17 outside of the HasLab, that's our solution there. I mean, with Kanan and Zeb, those 2 remaining tiers, that's really what we're doing for tiers on the Ghost.
I hope we can do it.
Yeah. Everybody that bought one, just go buy one more. And
Cool, John, SWTVC.
So can you walk us through the methodology of showing all the tier unlocks up front? Because some HasLab campaigns show them all up front, some reveal them throughout the campaign to kind of get more publicity, a little boost in that regard. Can you speak to what factored into your decision this time?
Yeah, I mean, we've done both, as you know, and other brands. We also take learnings from them as well. So it's definitely something we listen to the community and see how they react, especially to our own campaigns and how they react. And it felt like the fans wanted transparency. They wanted the info up front. If you feel like that's different, let us know, and can certainly consider that for the future as well. But that seemed to be like the impression that we got for this campaign, especially since the tiers all kind of connect to each other with that mural card back. It was a story to tell, and we wanted to tell it up front. Because it was such a crucial piece to like the crew. So that's something that went into the thinking for this specific campaign. But yeah, again, we're always learning, adjusting, adapting based on what the community tells us. So if you guys feel like there's other things you want to see instead, let us know. But I think this was the right call for this campaign.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And just to note, like that doesn't mean that this is the way forward for every campaign in the future. I mean, HasLab's evolving and changing thing, and if it makes sense to do things differently in the future, I mean, we'll look at that too. So
yep. We're constantly learning. We're doing the best we can. Volker, can you hear us? Okay, we're gonna have to come back to him. All right, Jedi News, James.
So we've talked about this before, but for future HasLab projects and also bigger sets like the Boba Fett throne room, would you consider having an additional SKU or additional way of those that want to keep the figures mint on card being able to get a loose set? Because otherwise, you know, people that want, for example, 2 ghosts or want the additional figures, at the moment we've got to buy 2 ghosts, and that's like, you know, over £1,000 worth of cost. Whereas if we just wanted to buy, I don't know, an extra set of loose figures that we can use and keep the ones that we're getting with the ghost on card, that may be just an extra $100, which is obviously a lot more attainable for a lot of people, especially in the current economic climate.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and something that, I mean, we're not doing in this instance, but I mean, as we said, like, I mean, there's always learnings from HasLab to HasLab and different things to look at going forward. Whether that's one that we bring into play, I don't know, but it might make sense in the future. So it's definitely on our radar as an option and something to look at. It's just about delivering what's meaningful that makes the HasLab a successful thing without compromising the HasLab. I mean,
absolutely.
So yeah.
Right. Thank you.
But we definitely take inspiration from the fan community. So if there are thoughts in general, just let us know, because there's always a lot of ideas that come out.
Yeah, if you guys design an amazing HasLab campaign for us for the next time, that would be great.
Mint and Box.
Yes. Do you think we can have more vintage collection packaging with the fresque from the Rebel Season 4, like Ahsoka or Kallus, in the same designs to be added to the HasLab if we have more than the 17th bakers?
In regard to adding them to the HasLab, we wouldn't do that at this point. But as far as other figures in the line, nothing to share at the moment on all of that stuff. I would say tune in to our live stream coming up on for more info on Ahsoka stuff. But yeah, it's like adding into the HasLab at this point is not something we would do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have Ahsoka on Ahsoka Entertainment. We revealed that at San Diego Comic-Con. So that's, you know, definitely something that if fans are interested in, to definitely go take a look at that. Pre-order went out, I think, a couple weeks ago. Cool. Volker.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, there we can. Yeah.
Well, I guess
John,
I can't
I'll
see
get
me.
back to you. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Volker.
Can you see me? I guess not.
No.
Okay, yeah, I'm figuring that out. First question. Some fans speculated if the Ghost would reach all the tiers quickly, Hasbro would add more tiers. Can you confirm this or elaborate on this?
You might have missed this in all the tech problems you've been having, but we pipeline revealed that we're not going to add any more tiers, but what we're going to do is if the HasLab reaches the 17,000 backers for Zeb, so if we get all the way there, then outside of the HasLab, we're going to make Chopper and Sabine available on mural card backs external to the HasLab. So people could get on Hasbro Pulse and order those to complete that mural card back collection. But we're not planning any additional tiers.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, we didn't want to lock it behind higher tier volumes. So yeah, that was an announcement that came earlier. And just to circle back, Star Wars TVC. Sorry, John, go ahead.
That's all right, thanks. I'm going to skip ahead because we're kind of on the subject. And we know you can't reveal anything at this time and you have a live stream next week. But some collectors might be on the fence about backing the Ghost because they want to make sure there's going to be meaningful world building in the line around the Ghost, as you have done with the Sail Barge and the Razor Crest. So can you give the community some assurance that Rebels and Ahsoka will be meaningfully covered in TVC after the campaign ends?
Well, and yeah, and you already said it for me. Like, we can't reveal anything we haven't talked about, or can't talk about anything we haven't revealed, both ways. But I mean, the Ghost is a cornerstone of world building for Rebels. So, and I mean, there's a lot of that there in the Ghost, but it's definitely in our minds. I'll tell you that. So.
Yeah, especially since we've seen the Ghost in New Entertainment. So, or not, we know.
Well, we did. If you knew where to look, you could see it in those first couple episodes. The little tiny corners of the Ghost. It's there.
Cool. All right, James.
So I just wanted to ask why you're revisiting Axel so quickly in the Vintage Collection, because it wasn't so long ago that we had him, and Pipeline revealed another version of the character.
Yeah, I mean, Axe Wolves was just such a big part of like the latest Mandalorian show, as you know. And he's just a great character, Mandalorian, and we want to get him out there for new fans that didn't get a chance to, or fans that just missed out. And there might be details of him that might be a little different than what we've already done. So nothing to be shared at this time, and he was only a pipeline. So definitely stay tuned because there's more to come.
Thanks.
Okay, Mint in Box.
Yeah, it's a different question from the Ghost. I just finished Star Wars Jedi Survivor a few days ago, and I was thinking that many characters' figures could deserve their own action figures. So are you planning to expand the Star Wars Black Series gaming grades, and with new character from the game, it will be re-released on PS4 and Xbox, so it would be a greater occasion to do it?
Yeah, there's lots of people on the team that is really happy you asked that. Just because in general, there's lots of fans that play that game on the team as well. I know Emily and Eric, designers for Black Series and Vintage Collection, they love that. So of course, as you know, there's nothing we can share that hasn't been announced. It's just something we always keep in mind. And so if there is a demand for it, it's something we will always keep in mind.
Thank you.
All right, John.
All right, so the new Vintage Collection Sabine figure looks amazing, except the general community consensus seems to be her oversized helmet is not particularly a well-loved element of that figure in its execution, though we appreciate the thought behind playability. So if and when we see this character again, as well as others who might have heads or hair that are too large or complex to have a properly scaled removable helmet, could we please see some swappable heads to ensure accuracy, especially at these deluxe price points?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an unreasonable ask, and it's something on our minds too. I mean, we just told you that if we get to 17,000, that there's a Sabine involved in that play. It's a perfectly reasonable thing that might show up on her. But yeah, like, I mean, you said it. Like, we prioritize playability of that removable helmet on that version. But swappable head helmets or removable helmets, like, it's all stuff in the bag of tricks, let's say, for TVC and how to address figures differently. So yeah, I think we will continue to do both versions on different figures as we go forward, just depending on what we prioritize, playability or authenticity, I guess, in one way. I mean, it's a little tough to describe it as authentic. It's authentic looking maybe, but it's not authentic in function. So, I mean, but I think you get what I'm saying. I mean, they're both viable options, and we will most assuredly do figures in both versions going forward in one way or another.
All right, Star Wars figurine.
Alrighty.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
You're still there. Yep.
Jesus Christ. Moving away from the cross-selling card back of the vintage collection is a bad idea. The current style scream vintage all over. The switch back to Wolverine of Darth Vader card back look is more suited towards exclusive standalone figures rather than the line. Would you reconsider changing the card back?
The new card back that we showed at San Diego is our path forward for the moment. And we thought that was a really nice way to go forward and to reference back to where the vintage collection started, I think 2010, if I'm not mistaken. And it had that style card back on. So we thought that was a nice way to go back and reference that early days of vintage collection. In the future, it might change again. I mean, hopefully the vintage collection continues and evolves, and we get to another point where a refresh of a different style card back is something we're looking at. For the moment, though, that's where we are.
Yeah, but the 2010 line,
fingers cost, we last even longer. So this new one lets us celebrate a pose of the figure on the back and some other things that we couldn't otherwise.
The 2010 style though still had the cross-selling, so it gave us some look into the future.
It did, but it also didn't have to have all the text on the back of it that it does now. So there's a lot of factors in play. So just prioritizing the figure that individual card is about is where we decided to go.
Okay.
But like I said, the future's the future, and we don't know what that holds. So.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
right.
I think Volker, since you were late, I think we could probably play catch up and do another one quickly. If you have another.
Sure, I got another one. While Hasbro is at the height of the game when it comes to detail, looks, appearance, face technology, the figures nowadays are outstanding. With all the talent assembled on the team compared to Hasbro Marvel figures, we see a bunch of characters produced for Marvel fans that are not just all main heroes. They got all sorts of characters that they're producing, side characters, I guess. Can we please see more side characters and gaps of long desired figures closed faster?
Yeah, I mean, I think we hope to, and we're constantly trying to fill that. And we talk about this all the time, where Star Wars has such a rich history of characters that we're trying to do, and there continues to be more and more new characters and more important characters in the moment that we're trying to address. And I think whether it would be a new movie coming out or whether it's a new TV show like Ahsoka, we're always going to prioritize that most recent thing as the priority for the line at the time, but we're still going to try and fill things in. So even looking and we pipeline revealed a Finn figure that has never been in the vintage collection. So bringing figures like that in, we're still trying to do that, and we'll continue to do that as much as we can. We certainly have a big anniversary coming in a couple of years, and I think looking at classic stuff more so for that. I mean, we're not even planning that stuff yet, but we're starting to think about that stuff. So I think those are all fair territories to hunt as we move forward. So yeah, we're with you. We want to get all that rich classic character stuff in there, but we can't move forward and grow the line without addressing the new stuff that's coming.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. All right, back up to the front, James, Jedi News.
So talk about addressing stuff that's gone before. Obviously, we've got a big anniversary next year. We've got 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. And for a lot of younger collectors who are just coming in, who've got jobs, disposable incomes, for them, that's a real highlight, as it is for a lot of us as well. A lot of us old timers that have been here as long as Chris and me. And basically, you've already pipeline revealed the Phantom Menace retro line, and fans are just hoping and concerned that you'll be addressing the Phantom Menace across all lines, and acknowledging the anniversary as it should be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is definitely an important anniversary. for all the reasons that you said, I would say fans have much to look forward to, but we don't have anything to tell you guys right now. So
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Mint in box.
Sorry, I have no more questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries. All right, John, Star Wars TVC.
All right. All my questions were asked, so I got a few extra. But people brought up the elbows on the 8D8 figure in the Jabba the Hutt set, and I gotta say, when I rewatched Book of Boba Fett, he's using those bad boys a lot to express himself. So, any chance that can be added, even just as like a simple hinge? I know it's small and I know it's hard, but IG-11 has lots of joints. You know, it's been done before. So, could it be perhaps factored in here?
Yeah, it's just something that, for a number of reasons, I mean, scale of those for one makes it hard and a challenge, but it's also it's an added cost, and trying to balance across the full line and make sure we're delivering as many figures as we can, as cost effectively as we can, to not drive price up for you guys. I mean, I think we've talked about this before, where it's like, and costs have continued to rise on everything, and I mean, in some cases, Deco has, for instance, outpaced the other rising costs. So, but assembly labor, all that stuff, like, it all comes to play in these things. And on him, that was a compromise to make him look more accurate, give up a little bit of function, but to deliver an original 96er in a more modern look for the vintage collection. That's one of those decisions, and it's a tough one, but we have to make those kind of calls all the time to continue to give you guys fresh options without affecting an overall jump in price or compromises elsewhere. That felt like one. He's not a character climbing walls and taking out bad guys, so he felt like a good one to compromise a little bit on.
Maybe in the next season, we don't know, but yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Star Wars figurine, Volker.
Okay, last one for me then. The Book of Boba Fett throne room is actually shipping in Germany and Europe right now, and there's kind of some little bit of wondering why the iconic photo shoot of Boba and Fennec was not used in front of the box as the main image. And we got this reddish orange, which is like a little bit taken away from actually the quality of the product, I'm thinking. What was the reason behind not using that iconic image?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it was the fact that we included Bib Fortuna in the pack too. So we definitely wanted to make sure he was highlighted in the front of pack, which we think achieved that. But yeah, no, that was an iconic scene, and we love seeing that. And I think, some fans can definitely do some photo shoots on their own for that. But for that specific reason, I think Bib coming into the pack was a huge deal for us, and definitely wanted to celebrate that.
Well, and to display the full expanse of how
so many
much detail and stuff is in there, it just made more sense to show that wider pulled out shot. I think you guys will enjoy, as those show up, you'll see all the images around the outside of the box where we really played a little bit more with some of those scenes. And and like Jing said, like, I'm looking forward to seeing what all the fans do when those start getting in hands, and all the photography that happens. So
yeah, the set is definitely fantastic.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks.
We'll let Emily know too. She worked really hard on that.
Yeah, that was definitely a passion project for Emily and a lot of the team. I think it shows. It's very cool.
It shows and it worked out.
Oh, all righty. Well, thank you guys. I think that was all the questions. We appreciate you spending time with us. We're just excited as you guys that Ahsoka is showing up in live action. We're going to keep watching it, as I know all of you will watch it 3 times over. Join us for the August live stream next week. Tell your friends and family about the Ghost HasLab, and I'm sure we will chat with you soon. So with that, I hope you guys have a good day.
Yeah. Thanks
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you guys.
Speak
Bye.
soon.